Welcome to Clown World Cousins. We're wifing, we're lifing, we're cleaning, we're streaming, stores, chores, and blue-pilled boars with my cousin Mary. I practice that with my kids. They're like, "Mommy, please go away."
I like it.
We had to put stores in there.
Mm-hmm.
What up, cuh? What up, cuh? I've been dying to say that too. What up, cuh? That's like,
Not too much.
but you're
What's up, everybody?
you're my actual cousin, so I can say, "What up, cuh?"
Yeah. Yeah. What's up with you? How are you doing?
I'm in a really good mood. You know I am. You talked to me today.
Good.
I'm in a better place than I was last Friday. Thanks, everyone. I was a little hysterical. You know what? But I'm not going to apologize for it. It was funny because I was listening to a new streamer that I listened to. I found through the wonderful best Brian Stavely. We Are Awake TV, and I guess his name is Ian. He's really good. I'll never be able to listen to one of his whole streams because I'm not even kidding. He does panels that are, Mary, I'm not kidding, 11 hours. Average stream. But he's really good, so I listen to like little chunks. Like, I'm sorry, I'll never be able to listen to that. I don't understand who would have the time for that. But I felt better because Mary, their panel was literally kind of arguing about not the same things as us, but he was arguing. He's like, I am angry. I am passionate. I'm not going to accept the evil. You know what I mean? And the other guy was like, dude, you just get a vibe high. Like there's.
I wish that was me. I wish I was like, dude, you just got a vibe high, Faye.
Yeah.
That's
But I'm in a better place today.
excellent. Well, anyway,
how are you doing?
I'm fine. I don't know. Have you guys noticed a lot of people are having a really hard time sleeping in the past couple of weeks? I know I have been, and pretty much everybody in my family, and pretty much everybody I talk to is like, yeah, I've been having a really hard time sleeping also. So I don't know what's going around, but I've been sleeping like crap.
My sleep has been interrupted a lot, like, and because I work so early in the morning, it doesn't happen very often, thank God. But once in a while I'll wake up at like 1:30 or 2 in the morning and I can't get back to sleep, and my alarm goes off at 4:45, so I just lay there with my eyes shut. Eventually I'll just put something on, and then I'm lucky, I'm done at 9 and I get to go home. It's to the point where I thank God. I'm not kidding. I thank God every night for a good night's sleep. So tell me about your sleep. I have heard this week about crazy dreams, and I'm in on that. I had a couple dreams this week that I was like, oh my God, I'm so thank God that was a dream.
Okay. Well, with me, it's I don't know if you have those nights where you're lying in bed and you feel like you're pretending to sleep, but you're not really in like a real restful sleep, but you look at the clock and like 2 hours has passed.
I don't really look at the clock too much during the night. But I had one of those. I was like in this weird state that I don't get in very often. It was this week, and I forget what the quote unquote dream was about, but I was like kind of like in the between. Like it was a very disruptive dream, and like I was kind of awake, but I was kind of there. And it was like kind of annoying because I was like, I'm sleeping, but I wish I was sleeping better. This dream is so annoying.
Yes. Yeah, almost like you're aware that you're not having a restful night's sleep. So I feel like there's been a lot of that going around. I don't know what it is. I mean, it just seems kind of bizarre that everybody seems to be having this experience. And everybody I talk to, there's not one that's like, no, I've been sleeping great. Thanks.
Right.
If anybody in chat's been sleeping great, let me know, because I'm starting to get a little weirded out about.
Is it every night?
No, it's not every night.
Yeah.
No, it's like every couple days.
Yeah.
I'll have like
I pray, I say my prayers, and we're all on our own. We all do our own thing. But when I ask God for a restful, good night's sleep, and I just make it. And when that alarm goes off and I haven't like got up, the problem with moms is that have had children. We usually have to use the bathroom during the night, because even like you can't even drink like a little bit of water without having to get up at night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. That's pretty much what I've been struggling with this week is being exhausted. And it also stinks because it's like at 5 in the morning, I'm like, yeah, all right, let's go. Let's do this thing. But seriously, by like noon, I'm like, just kill me. I just want to sleep. So I end up like not being as productive as I could be. But anyway, tell me about your week.
I had a better week. You were in my head a lot. Just like going throughout my days and thinking no one owes me the truth. My parents don't owe me the truth. My husband doesn't owe me the truth. The church doesn't owe me the truth. The colleges I paid thousands of dollars clearly don't owe me the truth. It's a little bit, but then with I'm kind of going backwards with the stuff I wanted to talk about, but then with this whole Alex Jones case, what this society is doing, they're like they're making it a requirement to lie in order to be part of the society. In order to be part of our society, you have to break the ninth commandment, which is, thou shalt not bear false witness. Even this, it's like, oh, I have to pretend that the air is scary and that what you're saying is true, even though I know it's not. But I'm in a better place. It is what it is. And, but you were in my head a little bit. No one owes me the truth. No one owes me anything. So
Yeah, I don't know that thing with AJ. What was it? Almost $1 billion in damages.
we all know no one's paying anything. We all know, I hope, that he's getting paid for his participation in this script and debacle. He's a paid shill. Please use the Mandela affected $ with that S. It's fake, but the message is being sent to the North.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, it's all about what does this mean for people like us,
So the one thing, and I can't,
because at the same time, don't forget, at the same time, we now have, what was it, PayPal saying that if they don't like what you say, they're going to charge your account like $2,500. And it is all very intertwined, and it's all a message to us. It has nothing to do with AJ. It has nothing to do with the parents. They're threatening people like us who are out there, speaking our truths and not being afraid to do it. And we like try to dance around, with the words we use and the algorithms and everything. But the bottom line is I use PayPal, and if they saw who I was donating money to, do I get fined the $2,500, or does the person I was donating to? It's crazy. It's all it's a threat. It's a threat.
Well, we've been threatened. Like you said, you were the one. I didn't know about the president there coming out on his hellscape, basically threatening all of us. We're going to have to go old school. We're going to have to wear T-shirts and bumper stickers and just be really annoying IRL in real time. But back to the AJ thing. So the big case, the $1 billion case. But I saw a dog named Boo made the best comment on one video I watched, because it was 9:65 and this didn't hit me. And she said 9, and then she did 6 + 5. She goes 9, 6 + 5. There's your 11.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was good. But anyway,
yeah.
In one of the pictures that they're showing in the media, I swear to you, and I have no way to prove this, but they definitely are showing you the faces of the cameraman in this posed picture. I swear to you, one of them is, let me get my phone. I upgraded my phone. I'm still on my 6. I'm working on my 8. One of the guys, I screenshotted it, in the background is actually the actor who played Adam Bonanza. Do you know who I mean?
No, I can't bring it on in.
Let's see. This is This is a screenshot from Pockets of the Futures video, but like on purpose, they show, there he is. You can't really see it, but if I had to bet, would bet that that's actually the guy who played the guy. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Am I being
I do
clear?
know what you're saying. I
He
do know
looks
what you're saying.
he-
I think
and
that's
I
CGI
feel like
though.
I did a very unprofessional comparison with the pictures that are out of the Adam Bonanza guy who took
Yep.
the fall for the hoax in the pirate ship. Like, look at us. Are we in America? This is bullcrap. But anyway, to me, I'm not a professional, but they look alike. And I
Well, I couldn't really see it. I'm just going to take your word for it.
yeah, it's just, and I can't prove it anyway. I'll send you the picture via text.
Okay.
What else?
Nothing. It keeps freezing. That's why I'm acting all sussed out. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, so they're making everything's inverted, and in order to participate in our society, you're going to be required to lie. I was talking to my sister today, and she was just talking about this new and I guess it's not really new, but like the whole furry culture, people that identify as cats. She knows a person in Billerica, Massachusetts. Their kids are in high school, and there's kids that identify as cats, and they literally have litter boxes in the classroom. Now they're not allowed to relieve themselves in the litter boxes, but the kids that identify as cats are allowed to go to the litter boxes and scratch. So, and I believe her, like she questioned it. And then
I believe her, of course.
And then there's adults that, and I love my anime, don't get me wrong, but we have adults that are now identifying as anime characters. And like you are required, Mary, you have to go by people's new pronouns. If someone's a cat, you better address them as a cat. No, what you're doing is you're requiring me to bear false witness. That's what you're doing.
I think they're forcing you to play along with mental illness, which is like,
we're both right.
Who is that helping? Like, oh, I'm just going to play along with this person's severe mental illness. That's normal.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, make me a liar, I guess. If you say cat, I'm going to pretend you're a cat too. Yeah. No, I'm not playing that game. That's definitely where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Little boys in dresses and little kids digging in litter boxes. That's not happening for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to spiral again like I did last week, but yeah, it's literally a mental institution.
Yeah. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. Speaking of pets.
I'm so happy. No, I didn't get a new pet. Faye I'm talking about in the third person because I could like do cartwheels right now. I am officially part of the insanely lucrative Greater Boston dog watching industry. We're going to do some math, guys. Okay. Let me tell you something about becoming a dog watcher / walker where I live in north of Boston. You don't just like put like you don't just go around town being like, hey, can I walk your dog, or put an ad even on Craigslist. Like you have to be vetted. Okay. People want Corey checks on you. So the way, and I've always wanted to walk dogs. I love dogs.
Wait, pause. Literally a Corey check?
I got Corey checked today.
Is it because you're going into people's homes, or is it
people's homes?
Okay.
I'll tell you about the business. This woman is making bank. Now, first of all, she loves me. We met together face to face. And you know what? She should love me because I'm going to be responsible. The dogs are going to love me. People are going to request me, and I'm going to be worth every cent she pays me. Okay. She's got all kids working for her. Like I actually get back to her. I have, you get it. You know what I'm talking
of course,
about.
Yeah.
The kids are great too. But like I show up, and she kind of knew me from the exercise world, it turns out. But my new job, guys, is I'm starting as a vetted Corey checked dog walker, do you want to hear how much I'm making?
If you want to share.
$42 an hour during the week. And I didn't even tell you, Mary, if I do a walk on a weekend, $40 an hour.
To take a dog for a walk?
So those are the spoiled dogs. I was at her facility today. She had 65 dogs in her daycare, all at $35 a pop. $65. I'm sorry, 65 dogs, $35 a pop. But that's not even counting the spoiled ones that I'm going to be going in their house and taking out, getting individual attention. And if she's paying me so most walks will be a half hour. So that's $16. If she's paying me $16 for 30 minutes of my time, how much are they paying her? Which is fine because I couldn't make these connections without this woman.
Sure.
I'm so excited.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
I'm sorry. The best part is guess who gets to stay slim and trim while she's walking the dogs, which is key. Okay, you're annoyed. I know. It's more than a babysitter makes. It's more than nannies make. And we are living in a society where dogs are currently being treated better than children. I'm sorry about that. I know children are more important than dogs, but I do love dogs and I will capitalize on it.
Absolutely. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just can't believe that people just, okay, why, first of all, why do you have a dog? It's I don't know. It all kind of ties into the like, why do you
have a kid when they're in daycare all day?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, why do you have a dog? If you can't even take your freaking dog out for a walk in a reasonable hour, you need somebody else to take care of it all day. I don't know. Why do you even have a dog? And yeah, same thing with children. Why did you even have a child? I mean, the kids in daycare, even these kids, they're in like morning programs. They go to school all day, then they're in the afternoon programs, then they have to go, home to an empty house. It's just, I don't understand. But I mean, as far as the dogs go, when my older two were little, I remember going to a playground and seeing signs everywhere like, this is a children's playground, no dogs on the equipment. And I was thinking, like, people bring their dogs to like go down the slide. What's going on here? But nobody's having kids and they're having their dogs and treating them like kids.
They are. And I'm going to be making bank. I actually feel I'm very thankful. My husband has like the real job in the family and he's very supportive and he lets me get my little hobbies, but my hobbies turn into money. And, 15 years ago, I was taking exercise classes and I was like, you know what? I've got better taste in music than these people. And it turned in, and by the end of my exercise career, we were taking vacations with my exercise money. So it's a lucrative, especially where we live.
Yeah.
So lucrative. I'm gonna make, and the best part is that all the doggy daycare and all the doggy daycares around here. So I was like gonna apply to all of them. The first one snatched me up. They were like, "Come in. We need you. We're so busy," and I'm gonna be great. And it was the one closest to my house. They're only open Monday through Friday, which I love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who wants to work on the weekend? But there are weekend opportunities available, and that's more money. And not only am I going to meet people that need dogs sitting on the weekends, our next family, this is the most important, and you can't put a price tag on this. We love dogs, and our next family dog, a sweet, beautiful dog, I'm praying to God, sending it out there, will come through this connection. And I'm sorry that right now I live in a place where dogs are more valued than children. I don't personally agree with that, but I do love dogs and I'm going to be amazing at it. And this is just my in. To get in, you can't just like make up a business and be like, I'm going to be a dog walker. Like, no, like people want you vetted. And so now I'm vetted. I'm very excited, guys. I know it's like a little bit of money, but I know that if I stick with it, it'll be great. And I will stick with it. You know me, Mary. I can walk all day if you want me to. You know what my favorite part about it was?
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, what?
My favorite part was that so I've been talking to the owner who's making insane bank as we speak right now. Like I can't even imagine when I think about the math on these dogs. But I went to meet her in person and we hit it off right away. But the best part was is that I literally went with my hair in a braid that I slept in, no makeup. It was pouring rain today. My rusty old rain boots. I went dressed as a dog walker.
Mm.
And it's like, and she was like, I love your boots. You look the part. I'm like, oh, I got the dog walking gear. And it's like, that's where I'm at right now. I don't want to, you know how a job interview is? You know, they say dress for, when you go to a job interview, dress for the job higher than the job you want. But today I like my hair. I was like, yeah, my hair is like, I slept in it. I'm like, I slept in my hair, but it still looks kind of cute. No makeup. And I just went like in my scrub clothes and she loved me because I'm going to be a dog walker. Fine.
Yep. That's
You're like,
great.
Faye, you're like, Faye, you have a college degree. But I know, but I don't care. The dogs can pee on my college degree. I'm so excited.
Good. No, congratulations. I'm not going to naysay it. I just really think that people are really effed up when it comes to
I agree.
their dogs and the amount of money they put in their dogs. And that's like, why do you even have the freaking dog? Is your dog getting the attention? So at least these people are willing to make sure that their dogs are getting the appropriate attention that they need, you know? So, but as far as the dog people and their dogs, my sister, who's a funeral director years ago, she was like, I think I'm going to start a funeral home for dogs. Because she saw the direction that, yeah, this whole thing was going in.
We even see it on the internet. We need to take this down. That's her idea. That's perfect.
I don't think she's going to get around to it, Faye. To be honest,
I would be willing to invest. I'm dead serious. I would invest in that. These people are crazy with their dogs. And what's great is I'm a very honest person and I am trustworthy in your home because like I tell my kids, you are being filmed all the time by God. So, but they all have cameras in their home. They can't be with their dogs, but like when you go in to take the dog for a walk, you're filmed the whole time. So you better be ready for that.
Yeah.
Your sister's on a dog named Boo. I just quoted you. It's good to see you. Best job ever. I'm so excited. Thank you for saying that. I just quoted you, a dog named Boo. I quoted your comment on what's her face. You were so right about the 9/11. I didn't that out.
No more dog, more yacht. Right? We're not that kind of a stream where we're gonna do Bible studies. So, Stu.
Well, Stu, they're making us break the 9th commandment, so they can. They're making it a requirement to break the 9th commandment. And I'm not going to sit here all proud like I know the commandments. I looked it up. Which one is thou shalt not lie?
I think I know the first like 4. No, 4, 5. It's towards the end. It gets a little hazy for me. So that's all right. Yeah, we have because we didn't last week. I just want to say a quick hello. All right, to the chat. So we have Stu here, a dog named Boo, RT. Great to see you. 3 Fingers. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Yeah, Joe's holding crap together. Francis Sage and John Boy popped in, and Boston Ray.
Boston Ray. Francis, I enjoyed our conversation so much. Francis, I agree with what he thinks about the world. And I won't put words in his mouth, but like the way that we're in a paradigm of good and evil. I've been thinking about our conversation a lot, my friend. It was good to see you. That's all I want to say.
Oh, yeah. RT saying there's big money in the funeral industry. Now, something I didn't realize, but I kind of ran it by a friend on Discord last night. She's over in the UK. I didn't know that, like, the whole idea of the American wake, you know how you go to the funeral home for the wake and they have like the open casket and you go and like you kneel down and you say a prayer. That's so bizarre to the rest of the world. They're like, Americans are so weird. Like, why would you want to like see the loved one? Oh, that's the person I loved their whole
They don't
life.
do that in Ireland? Because they don't do that in Ireland?
Very rare. In fact, it is starting to become more popular. But like, no, you put the dead body in a box, you close it, and you just, you can go and, put flowers on the box. But the whole idea of sitting there viewing a body is really insane to the rest of the world.
I think it's bizarre. And I was talking, that's one thing I'm very thankful to my dad about. Like my dad wasn't one for traditions. My dad was like, I'm not going to be bossed around by like dead people that do things that don't make sense in my life. And he wanted none of it. I am thankful that we ended up doing a little something, but when I die, I just want to, I'm sorry. I talk about death a lot. It's a Scorpio thing. Yeah. I hate wakes too.
I have to say, if I die still young, I'm all for the wake. I want it to be romantic and, again, kind of like not to glorify death, but But if I'm an old lady, just shut the box and push it downstream, do whatever.
I always had a problem with is like you lose someone like my mom when my dad died, and I totally supported her, like, and it's okay because it's our culture. People were like, well, what's the plans? And my mom was like, dude, I just need to take a breath. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you lose someone that's so special to you, but then you have to throw a party. It's so bizarre to me. So when I die, again, I can be a little Scorpios are very comfortable with death. So I want to be cremated. And then when people are comfortable, just like, have a party at the house. Like
I don't know. I think I would want to go the Munsters, like Addams Family, kind of, get somebody in there playing the organ, the whole da-na-na-na. It'd be perfect. So
like that Tartarian thing. Everyone had organs in their house. No one had bathrooms, but everyone had huge organs.
The sign of opulence.
Huge organs. That's what she said. Sorry. You made me watch. You made me watch The Office.
Yeah, I missed it though. I missed what you said.
I try too hard with my Michael Scott. It's so hard. It's so bad.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. It was a quiet week. I feel like the weeks are flying by. So, totally. Something I did notice, totally off the subject. Do you remember, like a month or so ago, you and I were talking about the beggars out there playing the fiddles? They're scammers. They're not really playing the fiddles. And it only just occurred to me when they started popping up more and more and more. And I was like, wait a second, these people are way too talented. So if you watch them, they're just going like this. Very rarely do you see them like playing actual notes on the fiddle.
More power to them. I gave some chick $20 because I was like, you're amazing. Good for her.
They're scammers, Faye. I'd rather somebody write a crappy, pathetic sign that says like homeless with kids help. Instead of like somebody
they're scammers too. At least I'm getting some pleasant music in the parking lot. I haven't seen any since then, but that was funny because that was like a couple months ago, and you're like, yeah, I saw some fiddle player, and I was like, I saw a fiddle player.
Yeah. Well, they've been now we have an accordion player here down by Shaw's, and I guess some dude came at him and started screaming at him, being like, you're a scammer, and my son works in the plaza there, and my son's collecting the carts, and he's just sitting there like watching them, because my son's like, right on, you are a scammer. And it got so heated the police had to be called. So wow. People don't like being scammed, Faye, come to find out.
People loved being scammed. Have you ever talked to your average person about the moon landing? You don't want to hear it. They love being scammed.
No, yeah, no. They no, people like, I don't know, fun lies. Not stupid lies. I guess they're all stupid. I don't know. Patriotic lies. That's what they want. They want,
Cool
but
story, bruh. Right. Don't you like our story? Go along with our story.
Oh
boy, I'm getting calls. Like, who calls people at 7:30? No, I'm not working for you. God.
The hell did I see? I saw something that said it was part of a catalog and it said Octo, but then it said her, like October, HER. And it was funny because all they were selling was feminine products. I said to my husband, I was like, this is so typical. Like, oh, we're going to celebrate women. Here's your feminine products.
Right. Well, that's all we are is parts. I'm sorry. I mean, we're not. But that was what?
Yeah.
That was my biggest problem with you know, you got these conservatives, Matt Walsh and everything, and what is a woman? I'm sorry, I'm getting my loops. My thing, I was so upset because they're like, a woman has a vagina and gives birth to babies. It's like, yeah, maybe, you know, let's get into scripture. Scripture says that a woman is a gift and a woman is a good homemaker and a woman isn't given to too much wine and a woman is to give respect to a man who is worthy of respect. But we won't talk about that because all you conservatives just say that I'm just parts and, you know, I have boobs and a vagina and give birth to babies.
Right. I love this. I seen a guy with a sign that said, not gonna lie, I am an alcoholic and need a drink. I gave him $5 and Francis
I love it.
Francis
I
says,
would have got him a bottle. I would have got him a small bottle.
yeah.
I love it. Just easy, just simple.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't like these dishonest. I mean, if I have money, like the fact that people even walking around with cash to begin with is like so foreign nowadays because everybody
we all need to start using cash. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, time's up on that. They're coming out with the digital currency, but
not if we all like. This is the thing. This is why I was getting so mad. If we need T-shirts, bumper stickers, and we all need to refuse, like any way we can, to say no to this digital hell. I was listening to a new guy. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mary, but
no, you're good.
I was just listening to someone who was talking about it. My sister suggested this guy, Joey B. Tunes, and
she sent that to me.
So the first video his most recent video, I was like, my sister likes this guy. He's dirtier than Owen Benjamin, and she like doesn't like Owen because he's filthy, and I love Owen. But then I listened to some of his other videos, and he's really good. And he was talking about like this digital nightmare, and he was talking about his friend that he was visiting, and in order to get into her apartment, she needed an app on her phone and all this crap. And he's like,
smart homes, yes.
And then he was talking about like an older guy that took his granddaughter to the arcade and everything's digital, and the poor old guy, thank you, honey, couldn't like figure it out with his granddaughter. And he made a really good point. His question was, who wants all this? Nobody wants it. So I was just like, we all have to start using Stop It. No. CFM. I just want to say, CFM, I met you in person. I gave you a big hug. I assaulted you on the street, but it's amazing. He's the best guy. And I wouldn't imagine anyone watching us isn't a fan of CFM, but if not, go sub and go listen because his show is amazing. And
oh my God, hold on. Faye. You're still just talking. I'll be right back. So keep on keeping on. I'll be right. Huh?
Are you going to listen or are you going to leave?
I'm leaving for 1 minute.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay. So yeah, I was just listening to this guy, Johnny, what's his name? Joey B. Tunes. And he's pretty funny. And he's just like saying, who wants all of this stuff? He was talking about this girl he knows that can't get into her apartment without an app. Then he's talking about some grandfather he saw at the arcade that's struggling to like holding up the line because the poor guy's over 50, which I'm right behind him, can't figure out how to do it with his granddaughter. And he goes, who wants this stuff? Nobody wants it. The new cars aren't better. Nothing's better. So I feel like we got to thank you, sweetie. The one thing that we can do is protest in little ways. And using cash is such a great way. And it's at the point when I go to the grocery store, stores and chores. So when I go to the store, the cashier at this point, I'm not even kidding, guys. And tell me if you the cashier is psyched when I pull out cash, because 9 times out of 10, the person in front of me is trying to use their chip and there's always a problem. None of this is making anyone's life easier. Matt from Quantum from Conscience, who's really good, he calls it IDI. What is it? Incremental distraction, something. It's just, did you hear any of that? I've been going.
Nope, I didn't hear a peep, but go ahead, just please. I'll catch on
I'll
eventually.
give you my recap. My recap is that the digital so-called conveniences are in reality not making any of our lives easier or more convenient. No one likes it. No one wants it. So a little way that we can protest is to use cash. And I'm telling you, Mary, lately when I go to the store, the cashier's psyched when I whip out cash because she knows it's going to be easy. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm not even exaggerating, 9 times out of 10, when I'm behind her, and I'm not saying I never use my credit card, believe me, cash back, my points, it goes directly in my account. I do have a credit card, but I like to use cash. It's like if you just put all your change in a bucket, that's cash back. Like, so you're still giving the benefit. But anyway, they're always psyched when I use cash because the person in front of me, there's always an issue with their card. They're not reading the card's thoughts. I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Whatever. I told you I was low energy. With the okay, the thing that I've noticed is with my cards. Okay, so I use my debit card an awful lot. Me having actual cash on hand is pretty rare besides the money that like I take out of the bank and I keep under my mattress. Wink, wink. Which I don't.
With
but
your
anyway.
beans, with your beans, Mary, your
Under my mattress, Faye.
At this point, I wouldn't be able to sleep on your bed with everything going on under your mattress.
Everything I'm gonna save the world with this, just this like small area right in front of me.
Down, everyone, meet on Mary's bed.
So anyway, could you imagine? I feel like that we become also so desensitized with how much cash we would actually have to carry on us in order to do cash only exchanges. Like if I go to the gas station and putting $100 in the tank, if I go to the grocery store, I'm spending anywhere from $250 to $600, depending on when's the last time I've gone grocery shopping. Go to TJ Maxx to get like maybe like 2 things, I'm spending $80. You know what I mean? Whereas if I was carrying the cash in my hand, I'd be
talking about a pretty big envelope with you at this point.
Right. It also would be so jarring. And I'm sure everybody can kind of like relate to that on their own. Like even if you're an individual, it's like you go to McDonald's and you just spent $20. It's like, it's McDonald's. What? Well, 13, we'll just say $13. It's like, it's freaking McDonald's. How the hell did I just spend $13? You know? So I do think that it's part of the reason why people don't really appreciate how incredibly expensive everything is because they just hit their little, like now it's getting to the point with the credit cards. You were just talking about the chip, right? It's getting to the point where there's machines now that you just take your card and you just hit it. It's like deek, right, and you're done. You don't even have to put in your code or anything.
Well, you know, in Dreamland you're done, but there's always a problem with these chips. Right. Things are job. Oh, are we here?
I think I can kind of hear you.
Are we,
Faye? Let me see. Faye? All right. Faye's having technical difficulties, I guess. Let me know when you can hear me again, Faye. I think I'm good. But anyway, yes, the Happy Meals for adults now. Oh, thank you. Sorry, my daughter's checking that for us. So I'm still good? Mm-hmm. All right. The Happy Meals for adults. I think it could have been cool if they had like retro toys. Uh-oh. No, you're still frozen, Faye.
Are we live?
What the hell is happening?
There?
I'm here, but you're still frozen and you're in and out. Anyway, I haven't eaten fast food in years. Just reading the chat here. So anyway, back to the Happy Meals. It could have been fun. if they put in like retro toys, but apparently everybody was like really PO'd about the toys that they put in it. Now, adults looking for a little plastic toy is kind of ridiculous, but it could have been like nostalgic and fun if they put in good toys instead of like, I forget what they even put in. Do you remember what they put in? I'm talking to my dog.
Like a paint mashy one that it had the bird, but they all had double eyes, which was really disturbing.
Right, I think we got 2 Fays here. Oh, there she is. She's back. Is she back? Hello, Faye.
Talking about were you talking about? I'm like, let me. Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're in and out. But go.
Joe.
You're still frozen too. You know what I'm going to do, Faye? Let's try this. Why don't you shut off your camera? Maybe that will help.
I don't think she can hear me.
I can hear you. You can't hear me. All right. Anyway, I'm not dealing with this tech crap. Oh, she's gone again. Anyway, so yeah, you guys can see a lot of my background now. Let's see. Just Happy Meals for adult sheep. Oh, do we have to hate everything? It's fine. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if there were those nice glasses. Oh, do you remember like back in the day with the Happy Meals, they would have like the combs, and like the purple comb would have Grimace, and then the orange one would be like the Hamburglar. Like if I got that in a Happy Meal today, I'd be like, "Aw, that reminds me of being a kid," And then I wouldn't eat the food because I don't like pink ooze, which they make the chicken nuggets out of pink ooze.
That was a meme.
Was it a meme? No, I feel like that was real. Sorry, I'm with my
ice cream.
I always need a co-host, so now my daughter's going to be the co-host. All right. And Faye's still trying to get back here. Let's see.
The chat.
What?
Luke, there is no space.
All right, Faye, can you hear? Are you here now?
Say hi, Joe.
Yeah, I'm here.
Say hi, my baby.
Hello.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. You're good.
Hello.
Hi.
Awesome. We're good. It's a miracle. So what have you been talking about while I was gone? I'm sorry.
Oh, I've just been shooting crap about Happy Meals. About stupid Happy Meals. I don't know. It's funny because you go through the week.
Prices of things.
I think we're out of sync. Go ahead. You go. Go. You go.
No, I can hear you.
Oh,
I was just saying before I got cut off, you were talking about to actually carry around this much money for everything you're doing would be too much. And I just wanted to say that I'm
Can you hear her?
Your face. That's a great face.
I'm asking my daughter because we didn't hear the end of that, I don't think.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I'm talking big time about my dog career. It's really to help pay the bills. Things are expensive, and to walk around with money for everything I actually do, it's a lot.
Right. It's desensitizing because
my dog.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, how you talk about how numbers on a screen. It's just all numbers on a screen, and we're going to transfer these numbers to this account, and it's nothing is real. Nothing is tangible. It even makes it more not tangible when you're just going around and you're click, 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 just hitting a card against the thing that's reading the numbers on the screen, And that's why I think people are going to be fine with the digital currency. They're going to be oh, it's so convenient, because we're already kind of doing it.
Some people would be fine. I would like to believe, and maybe it's just the circles I listen to and run with, that people are really waking up. And I guess it's just people that I listen to. But something that I keep hearing over and over again is like, speaking of dogs, like this society is a sick puppy. People, human beings created the image of God, are not meant to live this way. And I really do believe that. And I mean, I don't know the future. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, how far can this go, Mary? You know, like, what do you think?
How far? Well, we know how far it's going to go.
Do
We know how far. I've been looking a lot into personal revelation. I think I told you that a couple weeks ago also. I'm still at it, you know. And it is a little scary because even like if you look at like scripture, right? And then private revelation, the United States is never mentioned. It's like some people say that, like, you know, certain things in Revelation, maybe Babylon the Great could be the United States and all that kind of crap. But no, it's very rarely mentioned. And it makes me wonder, like, what the hell's going to happen to us that we stop being in private revelation?
Well, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. And I'm definitely not in a position to tell anyone when things happen and where it happened. But as you know, I really love walking tours. And that's when I'm folding laundry, listening to podcasts. And I highly recommend it, guys. It's like, you know, if we're going to have this digital craziness, you can go anywhere in the world. And I prefer recent ones. Like the ones I watch have to be like within 2 weeks. And I hate to say it, but like the overweight thing is an American thing from what I can see. So this week I was folding laundry and I was listening to, I forget, but I watched a walking tour of Jerusalem, quote unquote. Jerusalem to me, what they call Jerusalem to me, the modern day Jerusalem that the tourists go to. I can't prove it. I could do a deep dive if people wanted, and I know I've listened to many people that have. I don't think that was Jerusalem. To me, the modern day Jerusalem looks like a movie set. It looks like a flea market when you see people walking around. So there are some people that argue that Jerusalem was where we are now in America, and America's really Egypt. I don't know anything about it, but all I'm saying is that modern day Jerusalem, the people pay, they go to the Holy Land, to me looks like a movie set, kind of like the Wild West. If you and go on a walking tour, I'm telling you. But one thing that was really disturbing, because you know what, people can be mad at the Jays or whatever. They are so abused. They are so used and abused. They had a big ass sign in the middle of Jerusalem, okay, which looks to me again like a flea market. And the big sign says in Jerusalem, Ukraine can't breathe.
Shut up.
They're dealing with pro-war propaganda more than we are. So yeah, I love walking tours, guys. It's just people love to share their trips and they show it. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. So America, you think America's not being mentioned, but I think that I don't think the places we think are places are really what they say.
That's interesting. I don't know. I do think that Jerusalem is Jerusalem, and I believe that. I don't believe that Jerusalem or Israel was the land of milk and honey that was promised, that desert, because remember, God's like, oh, I'm going to lead you to the land of milk and honey. And then he leads them to crappy Israel. It's like, thanks.
Exactly. And then you have to look at the buildings of, so Howdy Mikowski, and he's just one, and he's not a Christian. My favorite is, I won't get into it because they're so Southern France, the British Isles, the Phoenicians. Our history is grabbled. And all I'm saying is that modern day Jerusalem, to me, it looks like, I love the climate. I mean, could I sign up to live there for the climate alone? But the buildings and everything and the tourist attractions, to me, look like a movie set. That's just me. That's just me.
I don't think it's an attractive place. I mean, I've never been though, so I should just stow it.
So one thing I would challenge you to do, not challenge you, but so where was the real Jerusalem? We know that we've been lied to about everything, and I'm not an expert on this. Just for fun, like when you're folding laundry, go to YouTube and do a walking tour of Jerusalem. And then after that, Mary, do a walking tour of Edinburgh, Scotland. Tell me which looks like they had more going on. Edinburgh, Scotland, and I've never been to Scotland. And even I, like just one day I was like, oh, Scotland came up. Because like now they like show Scotland, Edinburgh, Scotland's the most amazing place I've ever seen on a walking tour. I have traveled a little bit, but I love my walking tours, guys. It's really fun to see, like, and they have to be recent within 2 weeks. It's really cool.
But don't they know where the place of the skull is and everything? I don't. I feel like we have to be careful not to get so open-minded that our brain falls out and we just
saying
everything's fake.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing, because I have it is interesting. I am intrigued now because I have been kind of like, wait, that's it? That's the land of milk and honey?
Talk to people that go to Jerusalem and it's like their lifelong dream, and they get there and they're just like, really? This is it? This is it?
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I would go to Jerusalem just for the Dead Sea. Like for me, like just the minerals on my skin. Like I would go for other stuff, but I don't know. Yeah,
something about all these places with tunnels too.
Like underground cities. Edinburgh has interesting tunnels. Yeah, Edinburgh. And I love walking tours and stuff. Edinburgh blew my mind. It was just a couple that was walking through Edinburgh on a beautiful day, and I was like, holy moly. And that's where they say the Freemasons came from, right? The Scottish Freemasons. Gravy.
Anyway.
Yeah,
my daughter thinks it was. She thinks it was the land of milk and honey. She's over here doing that stupid things that dumb kids.
What's she doing?
Yeah.
At least she's listening. My kids are
out living their lives. She had to catch up on her schoolwork, so she did have plans tonight, which she did cancel. You know.
Oh, Birdie, you're our biggest supporter. We won't forget it when we make it big.
She said she could be our roadie. All right, so we got the producer, we got the roadie.
Living the dream.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm so lame tonight, Faye.
You're not lame. I'm sorry about my technical difficulties. You're not lame at all.
Yeah.
It's October. I know. Like, okay. So, like, let's tell us about like what are you growing in your? And I'm serious. Like, what's going on in your garden this time of year?
Well, my garden's pretty much done. I put most of the beds to rest. And I told you I moved stuff into the greenhouse in the basement with the grow lights, but I'm still waiting. I was talking to John Boy last night, another guy, Rafiki, about getting heirloom weed. I want to start learning how to grow. I also talked to Boston Ray about this one time. Heirloom weed. I want, to grow the kindest of bud, but I don't smoke it. But I do think it is a skill that is going to be
that you will be perfect because the best dealers don't get high off their own supply. So, like, seriously.
I've heard that before, though, Faye.
It's true. Like, you would be perfect because you don't have any interest. But the great thing is about hemp is that it has so many other uses.
Not really, because the more I look into it, I'm starting to realize like the male and female plants, and you have to like kind of like pull it off at certain stages. You don't want it to get too mature, but then when it does mature, I guess that's when it gets woody and stuff like that. So anyway, there's a whole science to it, and it's fascinating, and it'd be great to get me some heirloom seeds.
I think it's great. I think that, and I would support you 100%. I'm still willing to invest in your sister's doggy funeral home. I'm dead serious. I don't have a lot of money, but like Mary. That is huge. These people love to virtue signal. Okay, they to be able to be like, yes, we're having a service for Sparky, and they love it. They would love it.
Yeah. I mean, I just see these dogs with their freaking birthday parties on their play dates. It's like the freaking dogs have more friends than my kids have. I'm just kidding.
Guys, I'm telling you, give me 6 months and I'm going to have, it's going to be amazing. And I'm happy. Like, and I'm not a very high maintenance person. I don't need a lot. I want to help pay some bills, take some pressure off Joe, who's been amazing. But I'm so excited to get my foot in the door. It's lucrative, which is sad. Because it should be, people should be having families, like real families that talk to each other, but they're not doing that. So I'm going to make some money off walking their dogs. And
good. There's nothing wrong with it.
Huh?
There's nothing wrong with it. And those dogs will be lucky to have you instead of them sitting freaking alone.
Yes,
freaking
they will, because they're going to be spoiled rotten. I'm only getting paid for a half hour, but you know, if the dog's having fun, we're going longer. Like, it's going to be great.
Yeah, 5 dispensaries within a mile. So I was talking to a friend of mine tonight, and he was saying like something that comes in a bottle like this big. This is my zinc, but in a bottle this big, right? And I think he said it had like 3 or 4, like, what do they call it? Nubs or something in it. He was saying it was like $60.
Well, and hence start growing it. Yeah. I'm not really
dollars. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I like to I'll like eat a brownie and stuff, but I haven't in forever. I am not really into, I don't judge people for it, but smoking it makes me super paranoid. I like to eat it. I like the oils and stuff, like the CBD that doesn't really make you high. I love CBD. I think it's lucrative. Lucrative is the word of the night. Mushrooms are going to be lucrative too.
I don't need another vice. This is what it all comes down to. You guys see, like with me smoking, and I've been saying to Faye, I've had like voice fry for like 2 weeks. Freaking, did I quit smoking? Am I worried about it? I'm like, oh crap, I better not smoke. My voice is completely fried. No, I'm still smoking. So I don't want another vice. I don't really like the idea of promoting somebody else's, but at the same time, weed I'm okay with, because I do think that in our world with people with so many anxiety disorders, and where everything around us is designed to give us anxiety.
Amen.
That it's very nice.
People.
Yeah.
My father was a Vietnam veteran with PTSD, and he couldn't really handle alcohol, and that's fine. You know what I mean? He was super fun when he drank, but the next day the depression was too much. And weed kept him even. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying too much about my dad. Like, but it's a gift. It's a gift. It grows out of the ground. You know what I mean? It's like, how dare they make a plant illegal? God,
I know.
God, I'm so sick of these creatures.
At the same time, tobacco grows out of the ground, and I can tell you, it's doing nothing for me.
You know what, Mary?
Nothing for me.
You don't follow Matt from Quantum. He had a really interesting little video about the demonization of tobacco, and I was with him. You know me. I'm a social smoker. I'll have a cigarette when we get off tonight. I'll probably have 2 in bed. But it's really true. Like, if you look at pictures and the history of civilization, for whatever reason, people, I'm sure that back in the day, the tobacco was more pure, but people were healthier with the tobacco.
Well, I do think that we have, if you believe in adaptation, and I know you're like, history's grappled. Well, at the very least, we know that people had to put wood in the fireplace in order to heat their homes and cook. Okay. Like, I feel like that's basic. So human beings have adapted to inhaling smoke into their lungs. We've adapted that way. So I feel like when it comes to the additives and stuff, like with me growing tobacco this year, I started to realize the amount of pests that are drawn to tobacco plants. And yeah, aphids like crazy, grasshoppers. I had some beetles, and I wanted an organic garden, so I didn't spray them. Okay, but I could imagine if I was a big, huge, tobacco farm, I'd be spraying the hell out of that instead of just picking off the good leaves. It's all about the bottom line, and again, with the weed and growing my own stuff, that's what I want to get away from. I want to just be like, not more organic, but not store-bought organic, real organic, like 100%, and just nice. And trying to figure out like how to take, like, even though our growing season, sorry Faye, I'm getting excited because we're talking about growing stuff.
No, I love it. I asked you, and to guys, the best wine I ever tasted in my life, and believe me, I've tasted a lot of wine, was the bottle you gave me. It was absolutely delightful. No,
that's so nice.
Delightful. What?
That's nice of you. It wasn't that. It was good, but it wasn't great. It was a little bitter. I'm perfecting it, but another thing,
it was like, the best. I loved it.
But yeah, it's there's all kinds of stuff, Faye, when it comes to growing these plants, and you can what do they call it, like co-plant stuff, that one plant's going to repel the pests from the main plant. You have decoy plants that you can put out. It's really cool, like organic
nature's
growing.
Amazing.
It really is.
It really is. And not to change the subject, I'm not
sure
forever in a bad mood. I highly suggest going to YouTube and plugging in animals being jerks. And it's hilarious. And animals are so funny. Hi, Jeannie. She's making her own wine. Also, you guys should talk. Jeannie, she made really good wine. Thank you for showing up. But yeah, if anyone ever needs, if you're in a bad mood, just plug into YouTube animals being jerks, because of course they're not jerks, they're being animals. But like you'll see fights between like crows and foxes and like, and it's just very honest. It's all very honest. And thankfully it was caught on tape. So yeah. So go ahead. But nature's amazing. Go ahead. So I'm like envious that you're doing this. Like you're seeing it firsthand.
No, well, I wouldn't be too envious.
Shopping, and she's doing all that too.
Yeah. So anyway, it's fun. It keeps me out of trouble. And now winter's coming, and I'm like trying to move it indoors. And I want to expand my indoor growing, because we have such a short growing season here. I want to expand it. I want to get into I would love to do like hydroponics or aquaponics, rather, where you have like the fish tank and then the water drains down. That's another great way to grow weed. Anyway, it's really cool.
I'm on board. I think because you're not into weed, that would mean that you would grow the most perfect weed. Like you would just be. Yeah. Have you ever thought about, you have the room, like you could easily do a little or a medium greenhouse?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. And also legally, I think we'll just go per adult in my house. I could legally have 24 plants out in my yard, no problem. But then I heard that if you have them outside, your neighbors will be able to smell it from and I don't want people stealing my weed. So
talk to Ray. Ray has funny stories about that.
I remember he had his little plants, and he comes out one morning, they're gone. It's like people are such jerks.
Just like that.
God's got Ray. He'll be okay. But it's still so funny when Joe and I ever picked him up. It was just like this little plant. He's like, Joe, look over there. I love it. But it made me really think that day, when Ray had his plant, it's like, there it is. Just like he threw some seed on the ground here in Massachusetts, of all places. Ray lives in the city, and there it is blooming. We overthink things.
Yeah. So there's that. What else you got, sister?
What you watching on TV? But I did start a show, and I think the show's trolling us. And by us, I mean the truthers. I started it today. Do you want to hear about it?
I'm curious. I haven't watched anything, so please.
Okay, so I'm like 2 episodes in, guys, and I am gonna finish it. And the reason it was on Netflix, I started a couple shows this week, and I was just like, like we're picky people. Like they have to suck us in. We have high standards. I hope. So the show is called, and I would actually kind of want people's opinion. They're
Okay.
trolling us. They're trolling us. So it's called The Watcher, and it's on Netflix, and it's about this. And I watched it because I like looked again, and you know who was in it? Mary is
Who?
she's that actress Jennifer. She was like in Legally Blonde. She was like Reese Witherspoon's older friend that did like the Bend and Snap.
Oh yeah. She's in Best in Show.
She's
Oh,
amazing. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And she's what drew me into it. She's Jennifer something, and she's super funny, and she's really, I love her. And but it's called The Watcher, and okay, they're trolling us. It's about a Connecticut town, a Connecticut really wealthy Connecticut town outside of
Mhm.
New York, and this couple with 2 kids that buy this house that really they shouldn't be able to afford. And it turns out, like so far, I'm only 2 episodes in, they might be in the middle of a satanic blood cult that's draining blood for you know what, Chrome. Tell me that's not
Okay.
a troll. They're trolling us. Did you hear
Wait.
me?
Yeah. So the show is literally about people that are. That's dark.
I couldn't believe it when they brought up the word adrenalome. Like it's like
Yeah, I think we can say adrenochrome,
and it's like they
adrenal.
show,
Right?
they're like, yeah, they're like, yeah, my little boy saw people in the basement in red robes, and it's like satanic, and it's in Connecticut. It's like you got people, they're trolling us. They're totally.
Who are they killing?
I'm only an episode and a half in, but so I have to finish it because I'm like, oh my god, they're trolling us, especially because of the Alex J thing.
Yeah, sure.
And it's like, and now they're showing this story is about a mythical Connecticut satanic town. Like, give me a break.
You're Rope and Stewing, I think.
Stu. I love Stu.
Yeah, you know what I've been doing, Faye? I've been watching stupid, Victoria. The Masterpiece Classic Victoria, based on Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
It's again
The
like
new one or the old one? Because I liked the new one.
the series. Yeah, it's like the really long mini series on Masterpiece, and
I liked it too.
yeah, it's also visually nice. It's just pretty.
She's the only historical character that thinks like, and I know it's interdimensional, but like, were we invaded by aliens? Do you know she's like the only person in history that official history says that one day her blood type changed? She was like a hemo, like something like she bled all the time.
Oh, hemophiliac, yeah.
She was a hemophiliac, but she used to have one blood type, and then she had another blood type, and I was like, okay, well, let's go with that.
That's not a thing.
It's a thing with Queen Victoria, allegedly. I liked that one too.
That is so. So right. Yeah,
it never ends. It never ends.
Can't I just watch be left alone? I do think that it's nice that she's one of the few examples throughout history, like the whole like Victoria's Secret thing, right? You know, I think they got. Hold on, let me finish.
Oh, go ahead. I love it though, but you're right. Yeah, the whole Victoria's Secret thing. Go ahead.
From her journals, she was very much in love with her husband, and when he died at the age of, I think, 42,
her cousin. Go ahead.
And you know, I think decades wearing black, mourning him. Yeah. You know, and it's like the whole idea that they're making, you know, it's like, okay, well, you know, this is a famous married couple that actually loved each other. I think it's on that level nice.
I love that about them, and I completely agree with you. And at the end of the day, like, it would be so weird for me to marry your brother. but that is what they're doing. Like that would be like me marrying your brother. They're first cousins, her and her husband, but to them it was normal. It was like that movie that not the movie, the show I just, because Mary and I kind of like this stuff, but the Empress, she was married to her first cousin, but these people didn't, by official history, they didn't know anything different. Like, it would be so weird, like, if you married my brother or something, but like, because we're first cousins, but that's just what they did. But that is one of the most endearing things to me about them. And that's one thing I don't like about Queenie that just died, because didn't she like put her sister away because her sister wanted to get married? But the narrative goes, and hey, I don't blame her. If I'm going to be with a man, I want to be with like a hot guy that I love. And Queenie wanted to be with Prince Philip, and he was tall, and she like was very choosy. But then with her, she wouldn't give her sister the same consideration. It's very funny when people choose your husband for you,
Yeah, I will say, as far as I don't know how much of that interbreeding genetics thing I agree with. I think that they were trying to keep a very, very pure bloodline, and how the heck else are you going to do it? Because we know that all the monarchs were pretty much related, especially towards the end. It's like they were all cousins, and it's I don't think they fared that poorly genetically. Having
all the leaders, all the powers, all the leaders in World War I were first cousins. That blew my mind. I looked it up. First cousins. We've said it before. It's like Mary. It's like there's the funny line that my kids and I always make fun of. In the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, the guy's like, "See you at the war." Mary would be like, "We're first cousins." Mary, I'll see you at the war.
Yeah, my kingdom.
We're first cousins.
My kingdom is coming to fight your kingdom. All right, so just chill out. All right, but maybe my daughter, I'll marry my daughter off to your son.
Yeah, so we're gonna marry our kids off to each other. I'll see you at the Christmas grab. But like, how's the war going? It's so ridiculous. It's crazy. We're just little people. We don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's that weird to marry your cousin. I really don't. I maybe that makes me a creep weirdo. We had some handsome cousins, Faye.
When I was little, I would have, if someone told me that I had to either marry Brendan or Matt, I would have been like, great.
Yeah.
like perfect. They're both so gorgeous. My brother was so handsome back
then. Oh my goodness. Hollywood handsome. That's what we call him. Well, so handsome.
Too bad he just couldn't keep it together. But yeah, no, I get it. Like because you're growing up, and when I was a little girl, I planned on marrying my cat. Her name was Henrietta.
Did you identify as a cat, Faye?
That's the question. I was so little, and I just thought, I love this creature so much, this female cat, Henrietta. I'm going to marry her. But then I elevated a little bit. I realized that I'm a human being, and I can't marry a cat. So there was a time in my life I was like, I'll marry Brendan or Matt. Perfect.
Every little girl thinks
they're my cousins. I can't marry Brendan or Matt.
Every little girl thinks they're going to marry their father, which is so weird.
No, I never went there.
Neither did I. My mother talked enough crap about my father that I was like, I'm all set with that dude. But it's really common that little girls are like, I'm going to marry daddy. And it's like, poor daddy's over there getting wicked uncomfortable. But it's just, poor little kids thinking stupid things. Whatever.
Well, again, I did want to marry my cat Henrietta, and I had big plans. And it wasn't sexual. I just was like, I was a little girl, and of course it wasn't sexual. I was a little girl, and I was like, I love this cat more than anyone. So why wouldn't I marry the cat? I didn't understand. But God had great plans for me, and if you're in the chat, you're so handsome.
Yep, and Henrietta. You had to cut Henrietta loose.
Life's funny.
Life is cat, though. I remember Henrietta, but I don't know. The world's completely effed up, is all I know. And I don't know. Like, we're talking about people intermarrying with their cousins and all this kind of. Was it ever normal here in this realm? Was it? Feel like
I have. maybe it's a Mandela effect that these buildings that exist, maybe they weren't here a month ago and I woke up and they were all of a sudden here. But there are these amazing buildings with clearly architecture and technology and beauty that like is soul stopping, and they didn't have, this is what gets me, this is my favorite part, they didn't have bathrooms. It's like you can't, there's no getting around it. Like they didn't have, I do believe that they were some sort of breatharians, and that's what I want to go back to. I'm ready for it.
That's why you keep bringing up bathrooms. I'm like, this girl needs to get over not being able to use the toilet. But you're talking that they didn't even need to use the bathrooms?
They didn't have bathrooms in their buildings. And you know what? Matt from Quantum, I'm like a lady. I try. I mean, you know, I'm a lady for 2022. But going to the bathroom, using a public bathroom in 2022 is traumatic. I hate it. Everyone hates it. Everyone hates using public bathrooms right now. So to think of this world where they had these beautiful structures and art, and like we can't even like we can all argue about how it was made, but they had no bathrooms. So Matt from Quantum, and I always go back to Matt. I find Matt from Quantum very relaxing. He's very calming to me. He just did a thing and he's like, guys, I don't want to be gross. He's like, we live in a place with beauty. He's like, but as soon as you get on the pot, you realize that we're low. And I'm sorry, gross, but it's true. Like, and that's why it's like, I want to live in a world with magical castles and peacocks and friendly tigers and no bathrooms. Is that too much to ask?
I don't know. That's a lot to think about right there. Well, I mean, did they say in ancient Rome that they did have a sewer system that was the water aquifer came and pushed the waste out of the city instead of
aqueducts, but Rome's grabbled too. No one knows, and that's the great news is, and I can say this is someone that graduated with honors in history, and it was hard to say, you know what, looking back, a lot of this stuff that I paid thousands of dollars and spent tons of time writing about might not add up. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing that I didn't see it at the time. I thought it was.
I don't know. I like history.
I love history.
It's fine. It's fine. Some history, like I do get mad. My family's really into war history, and like we know who writes history. It's the victor, you know. So it's like I don't believe a lot of that. But I mean, as far as history goes, I said one time, kidding around, like, are we the first ones here? Is everything just like implanted in our brains?
But I never forgot that you said that, Mary, and I'm glad you brought it up. And now that you kind of brought it up again, it's going to haunt me again this week. And I'm sorry I haven't brought it up because I can't tell you how often I've thought about that, because the Mandela effect is a game changer. Like, who knows? Like, are we like? Go on. That's kind of crazy what you just said. Go on with your thought.
What was I saying? I totally forget.
Be the first generation here.
Oh yeah. And that like we were like basically all this information was implanted like a download, like almost like a matrix type system. It does tie into like every theory, but at the same time, doesn't that make us more important than we are? What if we're not that important?
We're important.
Yeah, but what if we're not?
But we are. We are, and if we are, but we're not. And that's, I had a beautiful conversation with Francis Sage, who really, he's awesome, and he really gets like the duality, and he speaks about it in a way that's a little deeper than what I've heard people say. It's like we are, but we're not. Like we're low, but we're high, and like to our children, Mary, we are the whole world. To your baby that looks up at you, you are everything. But then this is why I hate feminism, because you can go to your cubicle and to the boss, you're just a number on the screen. It's fascinating, and that's a very bad example. There's better examples. but we are important, because if we weren't important, they wouldn't be trying so hard to smother the human soul. Every effort right now is to smother the soul. And I think like it's just they're trying to take away the beauty, they're trying to take away the art, but we're fighting for it, and God won't let it happen. And I call it God, but go on. Sorry.
I wasn't. Once again, I was not saying anything. You keep saying sorry. Go ahead.
Because I'll go on forever and I'll get on my.
Oh, I don't know. I have to go get my son and go to bed. I'm so tired, and it's like, do you ever get sleep anxiety where like you're like, everybody gets it once in a while, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Am I going to be able to sleep tonight? And then like you're looking at the clock and you're doing the math. If I fall asleep right now.
Of course I do, because my alarm goes off at 4:45, and if I don't get good sleep, and thankfully I have a pretty low key job, I sundown, and unfortunately my sister has a very close guy, and he's an amazing, beautiful man, and he's experiencing dementia right now. I don't think I won't say who it is. And unfortunately, he's been boosted a few times, and he's experiencing dementia, but he's a beautiful person. And one thing I'm thankful for, and she told me, is that while he's going through this like mind thing, and he's older, is he's happy. So thank God for that. Like at least like in his dementia, he's happy. But he's sundown. Yeah. And when the sun goes down, he change, and that's. And I don't think I have dementia yet, but I sundown. And I think that's kind of why that's why a lot of people reach for the bottle at 5, because the sun's going down.
So sundowning is when you have dementia and you start getting confused. You have probably seasonal affective disorder, which means that when the days get shorter and you don't have a lot of sunlight or as much sunlight,
sundowning is it is worse for people with dementia, but people that don't have dementia can have it. It's just this feeling when the sun goes down and it gets dark. It's like an impending feeling of doom. Like it's not enough for you to like it's just like I sometimes when the sun goes down and it gets dark, it's like a just very heavy feeling of it goes away right away, and I get it together. Yeah, I think that's a real reason why a lot of people like 5 o'clock, let's have a drink.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Speaking of it's 5 o'clock somewhere, Faye, I gotta get off.
All right.
My cup's empty. Come on.
Should we tell them what we're doing next week? It's going to be funny before.
Oh, next week. Yes. Yes. Good.
So my husband, Joe found, so back in the day, I'm talking 2012, Mary and I, we've been talking forever, but in 2012, we felt very urged to we're going to have a show and we're going to talk about this. And it was because Mary, we talk about everything, but it was the 2012 Olympics that we talk about the most. I've watched 5 minutes of it. Joe has found it, and I had to shut it off because I was like, I have to watch this in real time with Mary. So next week, we're going to watch in real time our quote unquote show that we were going to do. But back then there was like no YouTube that we could do. So we did
it. We did it because we were going to put it on YouTube, but we were so insecure. We were like, I don't know, do we have anything to add? And just seeing that small, what was it? Maybe a 2-minute clip that Joe sent. I thought it was hilarious. Just me sitting there on the couch staring at you. But besides that, yeah, we were on this stuff 8 years ago, okay?
We really were. And it's kind of like, it's almost like I love it. And I will be watching it in real time. I shut it off. I was like, no, I have to watch this with Mary. But it's almost like I want to go back and like give those girls a hug and be like, girls, you have no idea what's coming. Like you guys kind of see it and we're talking about it, because the big thing was the 2012 Olympics, medical, remember all the kids in the hospital beds and stuff. So we'll talk about next week and other stuff. And
I cannot believe that Joe found that. I can't believe he still even had it. Like, I forgot, like, I remember that we tried it, but the fact that you guys still held on to it. But hold on, I do want to cover this, what Jenny is saying over here. So, sundowning only happens in hospitals. I freaking relate to that because every freaking time I had a baby, as soon as that sun would start setting, the panic attacks would set in hard. And I'd like call my husband, I'd start crying. I'd start getting like insane. And if you think about like just having a baby and all the hormones and everything, that all that crap, they say when the sun goes down, migraines go up. And on that, so doesn't childbirth. As soon as the sun goes down, for some reason, people go into labor, which is also bizarre.
Very interesting. For me, it's not a hospital thing. It's for me when it gets dark out. It doesn't always happen, but it really it's split second, no more than like 20 seconds, and it's like a pit of my stomach. Like
20 seconds. Oh no, I was way different. I used to have it really bad, and it would be like a panic attack. And as the sun was going down, it literally felt like emotionally that I was sucked out of my house, and all of a sudden I was a spectator. I was no longer living in the moment. Like I've had bouts of like, yeah, like you just become an observer of everything, and you're not like in it. It's almost like this emotional numbness besides the sadness that you have, and it becomes all consuming. And for me, I went through that for freaking years. I've suffered like postpartum depression, probably regular depression, but it was always at sundown that it would be like the trigger. It'd be like,
I'm going to look into it a little bit more this week about sundowning, because it's definitely, there's something to it. And so we're all going to watch CFM. I might watch tomorrow, but thank you, Jeannie and CFM. What an honor, and everyone that would ever tune in and listen to us. Thank you.
Also, guys, let's not forget, on October 28th, we're going to have our fun Halloween spooktacular night, and we're going to do spooky stories. If anybody, we're going to have a call-in line. We're going to have the StreamYard line, and if you don't want your name out there, you can always submit your story and to clownworldcousins@gmail.com. I have my sister's going to come on, tell some of her spooky stories. John Boy is going to kick off the entire night with his cryptid story, and it should be fun. So I'm really encouraging everybody. I want it to be a fun night that we can all just let our hair down and talk about spooky things. So that was my pitch. That's all I got. All right, Faye.
All right, Ka.
Well,
as we could say.
I don't like that. It reminds me of caca, which is poo-poo in what is it? I won't
do it again. I thought I was being cool. The kids are like, yeah. I was like, the kids. You know how the kids call everyone bro?
Sounds spooky. Did I say spooky like 1,000 times? I probably did. Spooky, guys.
Named Boo.
Spooky. Right. Anyway, all right, guys. Have a great night. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week for Faye and I's big.
I'll see CFM at 9. Hopefully, Joe will. I'll do.
I gotta go get my son, so I don't know if he'll be there.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.